Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is super exciting. We're just going to wait for everyone to log on. We're just watching the numbers go up. We hope that you are somewhere enjoying the amazing sun today. What a day. Are you loving this or what, Courtney?
So lucky, except for I maybe picked the wrong spot to sit because it's all very much in my face right now. But that's all right. I'll take it. Vitamin D. Need that vitamin
Yeah,
D.
exactly. Let's take that vitamin D. Okay, so we got a couple more people coming on here, and then we're just going to go ahead and get started. Looks like a really big group today, so super
Ooh.
awesome. Welcome, everyone. This is a seminar with Courtney Carroll running it. Now, I wanted to make sure that I jumped on and explained who Courtney is. So Courtney is an absolute rock star realtor, but she's actually been our managing inside sales partner since I think it's like 7 years this spring, Courtney,
It
right?
is, yeah, yeah.
I know, right? It's crazy. So, guys, this is the most awesome thing. Courtney actually makes over 300,000 gross commission every year, and she's done better year over year over year. And
Ooh.
you know what, guys? She's like dialing as she's like dropping her kids off, picking them up, working out at the gym, walking her dog. She's literally making phone calls. And Courtney, do you ever go out on an appointment anymore at all?
I haven't shown a house in like 5 or 6 years.
So if you're getting into real estate, this is also an option. You know, you're going to learn about how to get out there and do those basic things, and that is awesome. And this is another way for you to be and have an amazing life in real estate. And we are just so blessed to have Courtney on today training everyone. So welcome everyone, and we're just going to go ahead and get started.
Perfect. Thanks for that intro, Jen. So yeah, welcome. Today we're going to talk about setting up for success. The unfortunate stat is that 87% of real estate agents will fail in that first few years of business. And usually it's just because they either didn't have a plan or didn't implement a plan that they put together. So we've come up with some basic facts here to help you get on the right plan and start implementing it so that you can stay on that top 13%. Before we get too far, though, I found this stat yesterday and want to congratulate everyone who's here. It was mind-blowing, and I double-checked it. It's 70% of the population would like to switch careers, which is huge. And less than 1/3 of them are actually willing to do what's required to make the change. So you're already winning. So congratulations. If you're in a job right now and you're making that switch, it's a huge step. So way to go. Woohoo.
Woohoo!
Okay, so a little bit about me. Jen just did a great job pumping me up. So awesome. Thank you for that. I have been a licensed real estate agent for over 13 years. The last 6, almost 7 now, I have been doing inside sales. So it's an entirely referral-based business. So still a licensed agent. Just made some choices to change that I actually do showings, and I just take a percentage of commission off all the deals that I book, which we'll talk about a little bit at the end. Since then, converted over $300 million of real estate or brought in over $6 million in commissions to the team. I am married, got 2 kids. I have a big old hairy mutt. And I would prefer working out, hiking, reading, things like that. So that's just a little bit about me, and maybe we can relate along the way. So today's topics, we're going to cover like what you can be doing now if you're either just considering taking that real estate course or you're wrapping it up right now, things you can be doing today as soon as this webinar is over, things you begin doing after that. And then after that, and then we're going to do a bonus section, about 10 minutes about prospecting, because that is what I'm super passionate about and is also like the single most important thing you can do as a real estate agent is build your pipeline through prospecting, because without it, well, you just don't have any real estate transactions. And it's the piece of the puzzle that everyone wants to skip. They're going to try and do everything else other than prospect. And at the end of the day, that is the most important. So I'll do a little section on that And then we'll also go into the Q&A. However, please enter into, there is like a chat box or a Q&A box towards the bottom. If you think of something and when you think of it, put it in. We'll try and address it as soon as we can whenever there's a break. Worst case, we'll do it at the end. But if you have questions, the time is now. So please enter those as soon as you think about it. No questions yet, right? So then I'll just get started. Okay. So here's some of those basic things that you're going to want to think about, regardless of where you are in that process. And that's thinking if there's something or somewhere that you want to specialize in. So maybe you grew up in Pickering Village and Ajax, and that's where you want, you know it inside and out, and that's where you want to focus your energy. So start thinking about that. And I do have asterisks on there, and I can't believe Jen hasn't jumped through the screen yet. Because those asterisks are saying in your first few years of business, it doesn't matter where they're looking, you need to go drive anywhere. So yes, you can be the Pickering Village specialist. You're also going to drive to Kingston, and you're going to go downtown Toronto, or you're going to go to Barrie, because you need to go wherever the business is. You don't have that luxury until, you're a few years into the business and you have a solid, solid database or a solid amount of deals that are coming in which case then you can switch over, which is similar to what I've done, into a referral business. But in that meantime, you get in that car, please get in that car. Nothing is worse than new agents being like, oh, it's an hour from my house. Learn it, learn the area, talk to the listing agent, do your research so that you are bringing value to your clients, and also go with them, go everywhere they're going. Part of this, so you're going to specialize in that, and you're also going to start working on your brand and identity. Like, this is super exciting. This is a whole new chapter of your life, and this is where you get to design, like, who do I want to be now? What do I wear? What's my image? Like, what type of business do I want to build, and how do I want to present myself to the world? It's super exciting, and you don't want to wing it. You want to create that vision for yourself, like a business would have a mission plan or a vision. Do that now so that everything needs to align with it. So super exciting. Put a lot of research into it and energy, because this is who you're going to be moving forward. Now this is going to be one of the biggest ones, and it's just kind of in the middle here, but it's super important. Compile your contacts. Your sphere should represent over 60% of your transactions. So from there, you want to make sure you have everyone. Anyone who would recognize you and say hello is considered a contact. So get all their information that you have. If it's just a name and an email right now, that's fine. Compile it. If it's just a name and a phone number, we'll work on building that out as later on. But for right now, write everybody down. That's your hairdresser, that's your teachers, that's everyone. Write them down. Even if they're a real estate agent, you can build referrals on that later. Everyone compile them. You can just put it into something simple like an Excel spreadsheet for now. But get started with it. And then from that, though, it does lead into the next one, which will be deciding on a CRM. This is your tool on how you're going to contact everyone and organize your entire business. So you want to make sure you're making a good choice. Depending on where you end up for a brokerage, the one we work with right now, they have a KV Core program, which is awesome because not only does it allow us to manage our database, it also allows you to add on things like lead generation tools, which will be important for you, especially as a new agent. So you want to make sure.
I was gonna.
Oh yeah, sorry,
I was
Jen.
gonna say, Courtney, like even that ad I boosted a day ago, how many leads have we had off that one that we just ran?
Like a dozen since then. Yeah. So you can use
Crazy.
a CRM for sure. It's amazing. So finding that right CRM that does allow you to put some money into it and attract new people. It's super important, especially right as a new agent, and like Jen's saying, where you can throw in ads and then collect new leads that are active. So that's very important. And then so now you have all your, you know who you want to be. You've found everyone who you know, decided how you're going to manage and nurture those, and now create your business plan. There's lots online. Just what are you going to do in the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, regardless. If you're just getting started, there's tons you can do now, or if you're just graduating, then like hurry up and do those. And then start interviewing your brokerage. That's super important. Where you end, what support you're going to get from them, but your identity and who you are is more important at this point. So if there's any questions about these, please put those in there. Okay, so once you kind of have an outline of where you're going, here's what's next. So finding a mentor, team, or a coach. The statistics are endless there that'll show you how much better you'll produce if you have someone. And that's because usually the mentor, the team, or the coach, they've failed so many times at so many things, and there's tons that can go right and wrong in real estate, and now they've learned from it. So you're able to leverage their experiences and use that as your own, which will just sort of send you way ahead of everyone else that's coming in. So it's an investment, but so is like a business, and you need to start investing in yourself. There really isn't a better one than yourself. I don't know, I'm trying to think of what that stat was. It's like every dollar you're putting in, you'll be getting 10, 15, 20 times that return on investment if you spend the money on yourself. So then the next will be deciding on your prospecting plan. So for sure, you're going to need to reach out to that database, your sphere that we've talked to, everyone who knows you. We want to reach out to them. And then also, though, like I said, that'll be about 50 or 60% of your business. So there's a huge missing piece that we need to fill. So you can be, and I'll talk about it a little bit more in the future or 10 minutes down the road, your prospecting plan will be calling around like just listed, just sold, buying leads online, social media, hosting open houses, things like that. Figure out what you're going to be most comfortable with. Maybe comfortable is not the right word. What you're willing to do, and then add that onto your plan so you have a plan and can get started. And then once you have that, then you need to work on scripts. There will be scripts for someone if you're calling who's just listed, a script for your sphere. Once you've decided who you are going to prospect, find the script and memorize it so that you're able to hit that ground running and you're not stuttering and making mistakes, kind of like I keep doing here in this presentation because it's not a script. Then the next is we're going to let everybody know you are a real estate agent or you're about to be an agent, and you want to do that because these are our people. We want to make sure they all know it. And for the most part, everyone will love and support you and want to help you out with getting your business rolling. So make sure they know it. They can't help you if they don't know that you need that help to get started. Build your brand. You've already decided on that, what you want your brand to look like. And now start building it out. If it's social media accounts, any of those things, make sure it all aligns with who it was that you've decided you're going to be moving forward. Okay, so now you have this basic setup about what you're going to be doing, and now you've become a real estate agent. You chose a brokerage who you felt like their programs were everything you wanted, and had all the things that support you. So now take advantage of it. Whatever they have that is proven or is with senior agents, so you don't get bombarded in learning. But participate in it so you can leverage what they're teaching you and apply it in the day-to-day. The real estate program at Humber or wherever your program is that you're taking is amazing to teach you, the fundamentals of real estate. However, you're going to need something to teach you. Okay, like now what? So find the right training programs and then do that. Prospect every day. We've already decided who we're doing. Now commit to it. Time block it and protect it. Nothing gets in the way of prospecting because there is no single activity that is more important than getting up and knocking on doors or picking up phones, whatever it is. Nothing is more important than prospecting, and it doesn't get shoved down your throat enough. So I'm here to do that on today's platform. So get up every day and prospect. Shadow agents, find agents who are successful, who are doing what you want to do, whose business resembles what you want your business to look like, and ask, how can I help you? Can I go on home inspections with you? Just whatever you can do to get in time. That proximity is power. Get in front of them and ask them how you can be helping, so you can shadow and learn. And then hosting open houses. So you might not have a listing on day one, but your team, if you join a team, will have open houses. That's where you could shadow agents who have their open house. Hey, can I come on and help you with your open house? Page out to your brokerage to see who has any listings in Durham region that I can do over the weekend. So sign up for those, because that's an amazing way to learn how to do the business, to learn the house, to learn the experience, and to find new buyers. So, and prospect some more. Take advantage of, if you have 15 minutes, use that for prospecting. Reach out to your sphere, create a strategic plan on how you're going to do it so you're organized. You don't want to be shooting from your hip, not when it's something as precious as your sphere. You need to make sure you show up professional. So have a plan for them, how you're going to handle it. There's lots of those online, or the next one here, if you find a coaching program that aligns with who you are or who you want to be, then make sure you're utilizing everything you're learning from them. Okay, so those are kind of the basics, and now we're going to go into this bonus prospecting section. And again, if you have any questions, please make sure you just submit it, because I'm here and happy to answer however I can. So the who to call. So I'm huge on the phone prospecting. I love it because the freedom that comes with just using a phone versus being out on door knocking is I can be doing this at home while I'm folding laundry, while I'm walking my dog. I love multitasking, clearly. So why I love that telephone is it allows me to do it. Plus, who doesn't want to hang out in track pants and a hoodie all day if they can? So that's why the phone is so amazing. It's also, there's no barrier to it. The weather doesn't change anything, how I'm feeling, injury, sick kids, everything like that. Nothing can interrupt it as long as I treat that and protect it. So calling is the best way. There's also there's no expense for the vast majority of the options to getting started. So you can, and again, some brokerages will give you access to the service called telelisting, which is all the phone numbers for houses in an area. And then you have the ability, which you should always do, remove anyone who's been asked, who's on that do not contact list. We don't want to talk to people who we don't like. So make sure you do apply that. So assuming you have a brokerage that has access to it, it'll be free. Otherwise, I think it's maybe $600 or $700 a year to have access, but it's worth it. So you're going to call around just listed and just solds. Those don't have to be yours. Again, you're just started, so you probably haven't sold a house yet. However, maybe your team did, or your brokerage, or the Toronto Real Estate Board in general, whoever it is, find a script that you're comfortable with, and you can call around any property that has just been sold. Same with the just listed, and you're calling around. There's amazing scripts, and you're just trying to find, maybe they have friends or family who are considering moving into the area that didn't know about this, or they themselves might be interested. If a buyer didn't have an opportunity to buy this house and they were interested in yours, would you consider selling? So that's a great avenue. And again, there's no expense to it, and it doesn't require anything from you other than the script and doing the work. So now buyers looking, you might not have a super active buyer because again, you're new, but you might have a friend who said, oh, I'd love to live, in Jackson's Point if I could ever find anything for $600,000. So that's avenue enough to pick up the phone and start calling and say, hey, I have buyers who are actively looking in the area. Have you yourself considered moving? So that's another one where you just need someone who is interested. And that's a good reason to be calling around to people, introducing yourself, and then trying to get a home evaluation. So those are 3 easy, barrier-free, no expenses. on the other side here, so there's some other options. So if you don't, well, you won't have a huge backlog of leads because you're new to the business. So joining a team that has, I think we have like 30,000 leads. Like teams have compiled amount of leads because you can't always get to them all at the beginning. So call them. There's maybe a senior agent who you know or that you work with. Same thing. They might be willing to allow you access to their database because they're not working it, and then give them a referral fee should you be able to take them on as a buyer or a seller. You can pay them. To them, it's a lead that's just sitting there because they're not able to get to it. They're too busy doing things. So reach out. You never know. So get creative with that. Same with your brokerage. They could have a backlog of maybe walk-ins that came in that never converted, or calls that have come in that never converted. Say, hey, can I get access to all of them and see if I can bring them back to life? Also, the last few years has been pretty crazy. So people's changed, or plans have changed significantly. So go back a few years and see, hey, at one point you were thinking about moving. Did you end up moving, or are you still in the market? So a team, a senior agent, or a brokerage will have an old existing database that you can tap into and offer them a referral. So there's no expense there for you other than your time, and they benefit because they get paid a commission on a deal they probably would never have got. And sorry, I feel like I'm talking
I was
nonstop.
gonna say too,
Yeah.
one of the cool things too, Courtney, with our brokerage is access to the free Zacasa leads for new agents or performing agents. So you don't have to pay for leads. They'll actually give you free leads. So that's something else that they might be interested in.
Yeah, big time, where you're paying on the back end, you're just paying a percentage of the commission, but it's commission you would never have made. And we're just getting started. And so now you want to do that, and you're going to build these people. You service one client and you do it amazing, and you show up at that high level. They refer you business, their repeat business. So yeah, you're right, Jen. Things like that are awesome ways to do it. People get so caught up in, oh, but this expense or referral fees, but it's like zero, like 100% of zero is zero. So do what you can right now to get business. That's our goal, and get you to a senior level as soon as you can. So yeah,
Well,
oh, sorry.
and one thing you probably want to throw in there, Courtney, is like, even how did you end up with me with the team? How did you end up as a managing partner?
Like how I just started I called Jen, and it was, I didn't want to do any more appointments. So it was like, hey, can I just call around just listed and just sold, and I'll book you in for home evaluations. And then if you get it, then pay me commission. And if you don't, then there's nothing, like no loss. You went to an appointment. And so that just kind of grew from there. Is that what you mean, Jen?
Yeah, and I think for you, just solving that challenge of you two little kids at home, the last thing you wanted to be doing at that point was,
Oh,
with a busy husband at work, like
right.
being away from your kids all the time. So to have that flexibility, you were already a seasoned agent. This was a great choice, right? It
A
was so
hundred
cool.
percent. Yeah, yeah. That, and you do have to get creative, and there are some sacrifices to make. And I acknowledged, in order to get where I wanted, it was things that I wasn't willing or able to do at that point in my life. So, and that's probably a good thing too, is to like be honest with yourself and realize, if I want to be successful, it means I'm not taking weekends off or going on 7 vacations a year. If you're going to be an agent who's building their business traditionally, it's like it's 24/7, and you need to be there and available to do that. And then if it is something you don't want to do, that's okay too. And just acknowledging it, and then coming up with creative ways to create your business so you still can make an income, but works for you, like boxing it in. That's how I visualize it. Is like what I'm willing to do and not willing to do. And then, okay, so here's that playground. That's what I'm working within, and everything out there I'm not going to worry about. And then how do I make the best of that situation? And so it's just how we came to work with Jen on that. So then last there too for the leads is there are a lot of really great online lead platforms, and they're expensive though. So if you're in a financial position where you can throw down a bunch of money, and you're willing to work them appropriately, because nothing is worse than spending the money but not doing the work on the back end. Online leads like Commissions Inc., KV Core, Agent Locator, those are all great options, and we have like a whole program for those about working online leads. That's another way to build up your database. You just have to be willing to do the work as well as front the money. Great option though. So those are, the basic 5 ways for who you can be prospecting with right now. And again, just that side, well, all 4 of those is, you can just get started right away. You just need a phone and a headset for ergonomic reasons, and then some good scripting. And, oh, I did include this. Okay, so here's some fun math if I haven't convinced you to call yet. This is based on, I made 50,000 phone calls last year. But we're looking at about 300,000 or 400,000 calls in total between myself and ISA that these statistics are. There was a huge jump in 2023 from the previous years, which is totally okay and super exciting because 2024 is already on fire. So this is worst case scenario. These are worst case scenario numbers that when you're calling, and this is just listed, just sold online, buyers, these are almost all across the board. Every 10 people are going to answer your phone. Every 25 times you talk to somebody, you should be booking an appointment. That was a big change because that number was 1 in 20. So again, this is worst case scenarios. 1 in 4 should be a deal, but 1 in 5 new clients. So every 25 conversations, you book an appointment, and then you're going to go on 5 different appointments, and one of those will transition to a deal. Your ratios will increase. 1 in 3 is where our higher up agents are. And then like 1 in 6 is for the brand new who still need some training. And then that transacts to 1,250 phone calls for a paycheck, which sounds like a lot, and it is. I'm not trying to convince you it's not. I'm just going to break down those numbers a little more for you for some fun. So 1,250 phone calls when you're working efficiently and not spending hours researching before you pick up the phone is about 25 hours of work. And again, like I was saying, and we do different training on it, 25 or probably 20 of those 25 hours, it's like laundry is being done, tidying, sending emails, cooking dinner, going on hike, all that stuff is happening at the same time because I've memorized my scripts and I've created dial lists that gives me that freedom. So then the average house for sale right now is $836,000. Those commissions rate are 2.25. That's $18,000 commission. And when we divide those by the hour, it's $752 an hour for prospecting. And I am positive that nobody here is making $752 an hour, or you would not be switching your career. And if you are switching your career when you make $750, stop what you're doing and stay where you are, because that's amazing money. So definitely pick up the phone, and that's any one of those things. And again, follow along. We'll have like scripting, all that stuff is available if you reach out to us afterwards. Okay, this is the last slide. So if you're thinking of questions, start putting them in here. Okay, so the best way to set up your day is early in the morning before the day has started, and late at night is when you're setting up or sending emails, prepping lists, doing any of that stuff. Don't allow that to happen during the day unless it's a response, to a client that you have to do. Otherwise, do those outside of business hours. Make sure if you are going to be prospecting, you're creating your dialing list same time in the morning, in the evening, the day before. Don't log on to start dialing at 9 o'clock in the morning and then start trying to find your list. Do that on the outside when you got Netflix going on. They're not like high thought things. So you can be doing that while you're doing other things. The best answer rates for making phone calls is between 8 o'clock in the morning and 10 o'clock in the morning, and then 4 o'clock and 6 p.m. And kind of like where I was saying before about specializing in thing, my phone rings from 8:30 in the morning until 4:30 every single day. So it doesn't matter what the best times are. I'm still dialing. People still answer at 1, they still answer at 2. So don't get too caught up on that. And if you do only have 2 hours, these would be your better 2 hours for prospecting. Creating processes so you don't have to do thought-provoking things like texts and emails for leads that you haven't spoken with. So create a system, and then that's where having a really great CRM is going to take a lot of the load off for you, because you can do all that and it can run around in the background so you don't have to think about it. As far as setup for prospecting, it's not a lot. Headset, dialer is a great option. It doesn't have to happen right away. Most things are integrated with it, or even just using an Excel spreadsheet. Just because I don't want you to get caught up on being, maybe you're not ready to commit to $100 a month right now for a good dialing software. So just do what you can. You don't have to do anything overly elaborate until you've gotten yourself established. Tracking everything that you're doing, that's important. So, when you go back and look at the statistics, that every 25 conversations should book an appointment. If you've had 150 conversations, you have to work on your scripting. If you've been on 15 new appointments and haven't got a deal, then you need to work on your in-person presentation. So that's why tracking it is super important. And then just being consistent and realistic. I know that toes the line about being pessimistic, and I don't want to seem like that. But just give yourself a break. It's going to take months to get a momentum going and make money. So, there's always those studies that say you want to have 6 months of either pay or, money set aside, because it takes time, even when they do buy, your 30, 60-day closing. So, set yourself up for success that way. And then just find your own motivation. Like, what are you doing? You switched your career for a reason, usually because you want to make more money. So just remind yourself of that and motivate. This is super exciting. This is you getting to start a whole new life and career, and just keep reminding yourself of it. It's awesome. It's so much potential. I think
I was
that's
going to
it.
say to you, Courtney, that we always say the action you take today shows up in 90
Oh,
days.
yeah.
And I think talking about even Laura Short's success, right, of basically being in a position that, she had some practice dialing prior to becoming licensed. And within a couple months, she did 14 deals in 1
Yeah.
month, guys.
So
So,
crazy.
that was under Courtney's training and tuition. It is absolutely possible to get into real estate and have quick success. It really depends on who you're surrounding yourself with. So to always remember that at the end of the day, we are the sum of the 5 people closest to us. So check your cell phones and see who are the people that we are texting with on a regular basis. And do they lift you up and challenge and hold you accountable? Or do they let you just, slump, right? And fail? So it's really making a choice to choose to surround yourself with those people. And Courtney is evidence of that, even for me in my world, and certainly for Laura Short doing 14 deals in 1 month. So grateful to you today doing this training, Courtney. This has been absolutely awesome. Now,
Amazing.
any questions anybody has?
I was afraid to.
Not seeing any questions right now. So if you folks have any questions, you can start typing in the Q&A box at the bottom.
We're safe on it. I love that 90-day visual, and that's such a great one when it comes to prospecting, is that you can just exit off, I'm not going to make any money in 90 days if I don't show up and dial today. Even if it's 15, it's kind of like working out. You don't always have to commit to this huge 1-hour workout. Sometimes it's what, today I only have 15 minutes, but 15 minutes is better than not showing up at all. Trying to remember that book where it was just never put up 0, or just don't not do it. So even if you do only have 20, 30 minutes of prospecting, you'll find deals that adds up, right? You have 10 of those a year, there's an extra 200 hours or 200 minutes of dialing. So that's what always keeps me going there.
Yeah, well, this is amazing. So guys,
Yeah.
this is Courtney's tagline. What is it, Courtney?
Just do it. Just do it.
Just
Nike
do
and
it.
Nike and I share that one. Yeah. Yeah, for
And
sure.
to follow Courtney, which is under the handle ISA Today on Insta, just scan the QR code and you've got her tips and tricks, schedule a Zoom, design your life, and let's start prospecting. The other cool thing I wanted to mention, Courtney, is once people get going, they're also welcome to join our live dial. So Monday to Friday, 9:30 to 10:30, where, you know, if you're with us, we can actually give you lists to call and help you move into conversion. So just so grateful. And I think there might be one question now. Is there, SG?
Yes, correct. Ziba is mentioning in your early days of real estate with two little ones, how did you find the balance to do it all? Ziba is in the early stages on the coursework with a newborn and a 3-year-old. She's incredibly excited about the career change and is very inspired to see successful women in the industry.
Oh, amazing. So great. And congratulations. And great time to start with doing it, right? Now than never. I don't know that maybe the wrong person. I found it challenging. And again, my husband was gone a vast majority of the time. And so after my second one, it wasn't. And so that's when I switched into this referral business where I would handle all the prospecting and book other agents. And what I've loved about it is that it allowed me to work way more. I think I work way more hours than I ever have, yet I'm doing it when I'm here, and I take, those 30-minute time block from when the girls get off the bus. So I'm there and I'm present and I'm asking all the questions about school for 30 minutes. And the reality is they don't want to really talk to me afterwards. So, I'm super present when I'm there, and the rest of the time I'm just kind of like here and hanging around. So that's worked out better for me. And saying that, we have several super successful agents on our team. Steph, Deanna, they have like little kids. They've had babies. They've done 600,000 of team GCI. Like, they're huge numbers while having little kids. And I think it's just saying yes and making it work as often and as many times as you can, and like not getting caught up on like, how am I going to make this work? Just figure that out afterwards. At least Jen, like, that's how I feel about Steph. I think she says like yes and just does everything that's required. But it's a juggle, and just embrace it because it's super exciting. And what a great way to lead by example for your kids and show them like, yeah, we can hustle. We can do this. You just have to embrace it, I think.
Yeah. And I think it creates life-changing money. It also creates life-changing experiences for your kids. Did you want them to go to a private school? Did you want to put them into special lessons? Do you want them to play rep hockey? Do you want them to take piano lessons? Whatever it is, this all costs money. And you have to remember, money is just a form of energy. So energy in for real estate equals money out on the other side. So by focusing on serving people, which is what Courtney does every single day, that's where you find that easier success, right?
Mm-hmm. So good. So true. It's going to be amazing, Ziba. I'm so excited you're doing it. Oh, there you go. Perfect.
She's saying thank you so much.
Whew. Amazing. Well, thanks so much, everyone, for coming out. If you have questions, reach out. I know Jen's always happy to help. I'm always happy to help. It's such an exciting time. Don't allow it to be overwhelming, and like, so awesome. You get to just create a whole new you. So great. So great.
So great. Thanks everyone for coming out. Thanks, Courtney, for putting together such an amazing presentation. Thank you, SG, who's head of our marketing department, that you know, advertises these things and gets them out in front of you and sets us up so we can actually make it all work.
Awesome. Have a great day, everyone.